Okay, time for another recording. I done a bunch of cleanup around here, so my bench is a lot cleaner than it used to be. Lots more room. And of course, a bunch of stuff from AliExpress came in. And I got a couple more gizmos to help with all this stuff. First thing, I got some more webcams in. Um, two models, I think. There's three. I think two more models. So this model here, in fact, let's go. This model here, don't buy. Um, so this is a problem I'm now finding on AliExpress is that when you go looking at webcams, they don't show you, um, not this particular one, but the other one I'm going to show you. They don't show the cable end. And a lot of them have an audio cable off here. You're going, what the hell? What's an audio cable doing on a webcam? Well, first of all, this camera doesn't do 1080p. Second, it's very slow, like noticeably slow, right? So, good thing I didn't pay much for them, but this is basically a junk camera, not worth anything to buy. Now, this camera turned out to be actually a fairly good deal. It is 1080p, or is it 720? Funcam properties. Yeah, it's 720. But for a 720 camera, and for the flaw that it has a audio cable on it, you don't use this component, you don't use the mic on here, this is actually really good quality. Like, I mean, the visual, you can see it on this guy right here. See, hand moving, no blur, blah blah blah, really clear for that little picture. um and it works really, it fares me well, and it's got some weight to it. It's not completely plastic. So, interesting enough, I wonder under here. See, they put a sticker on here. I wonder under here. No, they didn't put it in there. Some cameras have a bolt hole, like the Logitechs have a hole here that you can go screw in. But I'm using it right now in Linux. There's no problem with it here. It also has, whoops, let's put this in the bag. It has line frequency control, which is stops some of the flicker that occurs. So you can set this to 50 or 60 hertz, which I find is you kind of really need. And it works just fine also on Windows. I didn't try the audio component because I'm not interested in it. I got more than one way to do audio, and it's a lot better than this. So let's look in our bag of goodies here. Our first bag. Those wireless camera boards. These guys right here. Now that's actually a new one. I picked up some, you guessed it, 9-volt battery thingies. So one end is the plug to plug into like an Arduino or something like that. The other end is the 9-volt battery. So toss that to the floor. Let's look at another one. This guy here. So this, kind of like the old joke commercial. I like the company so much, so I bought it. Well, I like those Raspberry Pi cameras and stuff that I got, so I bought another set. That's what these are. So they came with all these parts. We don't need that. So IR stuff, a couple screwdrivers, the little stands for them, yada yada. And then the camera themselves. Da da da. And buried in the bottom, as you can see, the cables, or the different cables for it. That includes Raspberry Pi Zero cable and normal Raspberry Pi cable. So that I consider good. Okay, this one. So unroll it. More of those plates on the surface thingy. This one, if I remember correctly, is just generic. I wanted one. Where's my knife? Where's my knife over here? Yeah, it is. So let's get rid of that. Open this up. Okay. So besides having all the ends in the bag, this is what it looks like. I wanted one without any holes, so that I could do anything with it. And that's what this is. It's kind of like one of those proto boards without the, but specifically for putting on an Arduino. So what else have we got in here? This bag. Nope, nothing in the bag. Get rid of this. Okay. Oh, and I also changed the computer over there. The other computer was just kicking out for no good reason. So I went and took my old i7 2600K, fought with it for a while, and got it all running, doubled the RAM on it to this max of 32 gig, and set everything up, and it seems to be working really good. So, but always that box actually worked really good. So I went back and I got some more wireless cameras, but this time I got two types. So let me get the first type out of its bag. This one. Okay, so for the ones without the USB port on them, I picked up, which is this one. We're missing the camera. Oh well. I'll have to buy some cameras for them. Or I can take them off some others. Oh, there it is. Yeah. There we go. One camera. Oh, well, I might have it off. So this is a programming board for them. Little side switches. Oh, by the way, I have to check it out with this particular one. So you got a reset button, of course, and you got a programming button here. Now, this version here, which has the USB port in it, does have a flash button. But you're expected to go like this and hold the damn flash button. It's a tiny little freaking flash button. Not very good. So instead, you jumper this guy here and this guy here, right here, these two pins. So you get your little, is that the one? Nope. So you get this, you borrow a jumper cable, and I suggest you do this. It's actually, on here it's marked IOO and ground, but if you jumper this like this, and then plug it in, it's like holding this frickin' reset button, because they would have you have it, you plug in the cable while holding the reset button and then use one hand and do the programming and click the thing off an Arduino. And by the way, it took me like 5 tries trying to do it this way, and I gave up and just put a jumper cable back on. So, oh, and a second thing, watch out for this on these ones. The solder joint. Get my pokey device for you. right here on the shell of the thing. That attaches to this shell. So on each side there's a little thing that holds the shell on the board. And then they got the legs behind here. These guys right there. I literally ripped one off. This is the one I did, and I fixed it. Pain in the ass, but I did it. So do remember to, I suggest when you get these that you right away solder. These don't suffer that problem because they don't have the port on them. But this does have the port on it. And this one's a little different. So that connector on that one was a surface mount. This one's through hole pinned. This might not suffer the problem at all. But you could top it off. Like, I mean, you could go here to these little holes right there on each side. And yeah, that one there and the first one that was on. You could probably fill them with some more solder. So this is your little camera, of course. So what you do on these ones is you pull on the little black thing here a little carefully. And you might need a pokey tool like I always do. There we go. That's a very bad connector, actually. Yeah, it is a very bad connector. It came all the way out of the shell. I have to take my glasses off and work on this. I mean, once you got the camera the thing in, so there we go, and then we stick this in here, like so, and then you pull back on the black, you crimp it, except it's not doing it. Oh crap, this is wrong. I don't think we're actually getting in the slot. See, this is a piss poor one. The others I had didn't have this problem. Oh, come on. This is bad. Let's try that. There we go. They're either pull ones or the pull up ones or pull out ones. You can never tell. Yeah, come on. I want to get it into the edge. There we go. Oh, a little crooked. A little on this side. Oh, that looks good. There we go. There we go. And does this have a sticky? Nope. Doesn't. But I have this 3M film that I can use that's like not even a millimeter thick type idea. So it's over there, but I won't bother doing it. So that's one that has to be worked on. And of course some antennas for it. Da, 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 da. I was more after this programming board than anything else. So Just put those over here. This camera can go over here. Okay. So this bag, what's in here? Okay, these are more of the wireless things, but a little different. So this guy here is like a Arduino, but with the ESP chip instead of Atmel. There it is. WeMOS Wi-Fi Bluetooth R32 based on ESP32. And it actually has ESP Room 32 on it. Now there is some extra pinning I can do here. So this here, I believe, is that pin block over here. This is the ISP block. I can put it together. So those. Okay, and then this one here, which I already opened one up to have a look. This is another one. This is also Room 32, but more of, as you can see, a little guy like this. And I saw this a similar item on Adafruit. Yeah, so boot, reset, that sort of thing. Just like we're loading the camera thing into the camera one. Same idea. But I picked a couple of these guys up. And all this stuff has actually been arriving very, very, very fast. Like we're talking 7 to 10 days after ordering it. Maybe 12 days. I also, in my sorting binge, I got a bunch of these. These are 5-liter, 5.5-liter containers, I think. And then I got a bunch of 3-liter versions. So I'm going to just put this, these, and this, and that over there. So, and you're going, oh, not enough stuff. Okay, more stuff. Okay. It's kind of low on breadboards, so breadboards. Little guys. More little guys. And still more little guys. 10 of them. Your classical. Yes, you can actually glue them together, you know, the usual stuff like this. Ta-da! Now, one test for these guys is to take something like this camera board, and you can really find the quality of your breadboard that you bought just by trying to put one of these in. Not bad. Not too much fight, and it's not poking out the bottom. That's pretty good. Right? Another way is to take, you know, these and just see at random spots how it plugs in. I already tested one of these out, and it was okay. It wasn't too loose, but as you can see, I had no trouble randomly picking 3 spots and plugging it in. And it was firm. So that's a pretty good go. And I'll put it in the bin on the bottom there. But since those are little guys, we want bigger guys, and I want some of these more power boards. A couple different ones, actually. Um, we have 5 bigger boards. So I think those are like 40 pins, and these are 80 pins or something like that. And of course, we get a bunch of this. Now these are a different style than these guys. These guys, where's the other one? These guys are the square ones with the pinning thing, and you can actually make this. I've got the kit coming to make it. These, on the other hand, are pure. Actually, have a little flex to them. Hey, that's not bad. This board is really good, actually. I'll have to recommend this one. Yeah, definitely. So, anything more in here? Nope. So these are that style. And actually, I'm just going to keep them out for the moment because those are really nice jumper cables compared to these. These are okay, but those are better. So I'm just going to put those in the bin. Some wire. I picked up some wire. Looks reasonably good. And what else do we have in here? Before we do those. So I wanted some. So I've had this one before. And I melted one already. Putting too much voltage in. And I got this one too. I was kind of curious about the alternate version of it. This one. So let's get a board. So the idea, of course, is not bad. So this is version of this, and this one is the other version. The reason for the 2 different ones, I think, is just real estate. They basically both do the same thing, right? This one has little switchies, so you switch between 3 and 5 volts. Actually, that's kind of nice. Little power indicator, some power transistors. This one, on the other hand, I think you can do it to the edge like this, but see how it hogs more space compared to this one? This one you can still get stuff in here. This one you can't. And I also found if you put it on the edge like that, it has a tendency to wobble. Oh, we have a bent pin. Where's my pliers? There we go. And this pin is bent. So what happens when it's in a mail package? So this one would go on here like so. Power switch. Interesting. This one does not have a power switch. It just has voltage selector, so it's live as soon as you plug it in. The other one, this one doesn't. I don't like is it has this connector for USB, whereas this one has this connector, which is more prevalent. You're not going to find A to A cables that often. There we go. I see what's happening. These boards are actually true. You can take the bus off these particular ones. They're actually not attached. They're slid in just like this is, which is interesting. So there he is. So there we go. New fancy, older style. And I blew one of these. As I said, feeding too much power. But I do like the concept of a power switch on this one. But I do like the concept on this one. It uses less real estate. So let's put these in there, and more into the old trash can. Okay, what else do we got in here? Oh, programming boards. What do we have here? Okay, we have actually, I think, 5 different varieties of, I think they're all FTDs. So we have this tiny little one. Yeah, FTDI programmer. And we have this one. Voltage selectable, which I believe. USB to TTL, FT232RL. And this one is Cirrus. Might say Sirius. Cruise. CRIUS. It's rigged for 5 volts. But you can see down here there's a scratch pad. You could jumper it to a 3 volt 3 version. Okay. This one is another FTD. It's a different one than that red one. Voltage selector. This is USB to FT232BL. And this one is USB to FTRL. I wonder what they mean. I have no idea. And yes, looks like you can stick extra pins and stuff on here. I don't know why you want to. Okay, so that's that one. Then I have a blue one here. Sideways in the package, of course. And this one here is also a little voltage selector, an ISP, and the pins and power, and lots of little LEDs. So this guy here selects your voltage. So that's another one. And okay, and the last one is actually a way more complicated one. It's this one with cables. Very fancy. USB to FT2BL. So we've got a number of stuff on here. Yeah, interesting. So this is, you can stick into the hub, for example, or if you got a cable sitting here, for example, you would stick it into here like so. And they give you a bunch of cables for it, of course. Of course, the idea simply is you take the jumper off the transmit receive like that, and you have all these jumpers like this. Come on. There we go. So this can go in my bin of transmitters. I think I have them up here somewhere. No, that's keys. Oops. More stuff. Yeah, here. So this is my full of my programmers, various ones. I can cover any programming job I need. And a ruler. Well, the ruler's not a programmer, of course. It's just a ruler. Actually, it's a Adafruit CircuitPython ruler. So now what do we else have in here? Now we have this bag. Yes, different supplier, but more of those wireless boards. Let's see. Let's get this open. There we go. There we go. One staple out of it. So let's open one of these up. Let's see what we got for a little jumper we don't need. Okay. Hey, a bag with static caution on it. Wow. They went over it. So another set of those boards. Basically, it's the same one I just showed you. Slightly different layout, but this one has, wow, quite the scratched surface here. Okay, so this is a different Wi-Fi chip. This is Do Do DOITING 811 BGM. Oh, this is the long one end. This is the I remember what this was. It's something else. It's not quite the same as the others. I'll have to play with this. This is something else. Hmm. Now, let's get this back in the bag. So, 5 of those. Actually, I'll just put them in here. Now, what else do we have in here? Last but least, in here. Okay, so this is just actually, it's very similar to, don't have it easily available. I think. So these things here will let you put in your Arduino Nano and breaks out all the pins and everything, provides power and a reset button and stuff like that, right? Well, this is the same thing, but for I can't see the open one. The idea is for not open, not open, not open, open. Okay. Drop something on the floor. So the idea is this for these boards, I believe. Yep. So you put them on here, and now you have a breakout board for these. Ground 5 volt, ground 5 volt, lots of pins, and goodles of data pins here. You have to remember that these are all joined together. So what you're seeing here is 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4. Whoops, and a bent pin. Again, as I said, male. Nothing major. There we go. So that, and they put a little antenna on it to orient this correctly so you get it on right. So, it's a lot like this, except for these boards. And of course, there's 5 of them to correspond with the 5 that I already have. So, okay. And I'm just going to put those in here. Okay. Don't need that. Collecting too much bags. And that's all for this stuff for the moment. Just a sec, I'll be right back. Okay, this is that tape I was talking about. See? You can get this on Amazon and all sorts of thicknesses and stuff. So if we want to stick this camera on here, because it actually has no tape like some of the others. It came with a little piece of square double-sided sticky tape. We borrow this stuff. So we just borrow a thing here, and we have to find the edge. There it is. Oops. So our camera is about that long. So what we do is we take two strips. First one, like so. And where's our knife? So we need our knife here to just get the plastic off the other side. Like so. Whoops. And then we turn around and we go to our camera here. And we lay down our first one. And let's get another one. Like so. And again, we just use our knife here to separate the plastic out. Like so. Come on, boys. Sometimes you have to pick a side. Wow. This is not going very good. I have to take my glasses off for this. I can hardly see it. There we go. Okay, so and then we go like this beside this one. This is pretty sticky stuff, so like so. So now that we have the tape there, we just put the camera down. Voila. One camera. Now keep this in a bag because you don't want the tape to dry out. But as you can see, this roll is going to last me 10,000 years to the next ice age. If you're doing phone repair, I suppose you would end up using a lot of that stuff up because that's what it was intended for. I can't believe that you actually, when you place screens and crap like that, you put that on there. But that's that. Okay, so I don't need that anymore. I did pick up a fume exhaust. I changed the fan in it. I found the default fan in here. Yeah, it had about 125 CFM, but boy, was it noisy. Now that I'm making a recording right now, I can test this out with the new fan in the recording. Plug it in. There's a rheostat thingy power gizmo over here. Oops, turn the power on. So this fan is 1750 RPM Noctua with 121 CFM capability at max. So right now it's on. Not bad. It's barely tweaking the microphone. So we'll see how that does. I actually do have another fan coming. I think it's 2000 or 2100 RPM with about 127 CFM. Not much higher than this, but it's supposed to be really, really quiet, heavy duty Noctua Industrial grade fan. Yeah, I was kind of surprised. They don't only make computer fans, they make industrial equipment fans. So, okay. Now this cable is for the funhouse stuff. I need that. Oops, why do you keep coming off the bag? Okay. I wonder where I'm going to put this. Yes, I lack room. Oh, and another gizmo I got is this gizmo. So this gizmo, there's a billion of them on Amazon, all different types. This is a nice metal one, but it's a USB 3 video capture. So HDMI out, HDMI in. So you put the USB thingy on here, like so. And do I have the Raspberry Pi over here? I don't think so. What's in here? It's the only problem when you sort everything. You can't find anything for a while afterwards. Nope. Hub 75 cables. No, that ain't it. That ain't it. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get a Raspberry. Okay, so we have here a Raspberry Pi Zero. I believe I've got it all working on here. We have an HDMI cable, so this goes into the HDMI in. Like so. And this goes into the HDMI on the 0. Like so. Then we need a small power. And you guys can go over here for the moment. And so this guy here. Yeah. The USB-C. Nope. So power in is this one. Like so. Actually, not like so. Well, that's USB-C's power. And this is a data cable. That's definitely not enough on that. Let's plug it into the power bank. Okay, there we go. Now we should be able to plug it in. There we go. Now, if we go to here, and I think I've already had it, properties. Okay, I think I have to wait for a little bit for boot up here, and then I'll display it. Should have tested this. Audio, HDMI out, HDMI in. A sec, I'm just going to bring a video for Linux utility because sometimes I find that OBS won't activate a source. So let's open this up and see video 7 open. Yeah. Maybe it's not working because I don't have a keyboard on here. I did have it working. Don't know why it's not working. Should be working. It's green light. Let's plug in the HDMI again. Was working over there. Let me go get a different one because the Raspberry Pi Zero is a picky device. I'm gonna go get a different Pi. So this is my current project. Um, and I just missed a whole bunch of recording. So I was talking about OBS, and if you're using it, upgrade to 2701. It fixed a lot of the NV encoding problems that I was having in version 26, but not having in version 25. Um, it's definitely worth your time to upgrade it. Um, and yes, I really screwed up this recording because I talked all about this and I had the damn thing on pause. I didn't see in the sys tray that the OBS had the yellow bars on it. Oh well, that's why these off the spur moment recordings. Now I was working on this RGB panel, an 8x8 RGB panel that uses 74HC595D shift registers on the back through an SPI bus. Now, um, the idea behind these shift registers is you push a bit in. When you push bit number 2 in, it pushes bit number 1 over. You keep doing it, doink, 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 till you've loaded a shift register with 8 bits. Now, when they're daisy chained like this, you keep pushing bits. So effectively, I want to push 32 bits into here. And when I have 32 bits lined up, one for the row or column position, whichever thing. This looks like row, but if you look like this looks like column. Whichever position. And then the 3 colors, red, green, blue. I don't know if this particularly is red, green, blue that way. Um, you then trigger cable chip enable, and the 32 bits are pushed out instantly to all the LEDs. And it should, in theory, you should be able to say, based off what you want, I only want, let's say, this corner light on, or you want a row. As you can see, I'm not doing very well with this. Now, where is my USB? No, that's clipboard contents, Bluetooth, disks and devices. You know, I wonder if I can control this. Yes. Here, I'll show you what I'm doing. KDE, I normally like the icon on my desktop. So, removable media, where are you? Notifications, OBS, updates, hardware control, volume, battery, Bluetooth. This shown only when relevant. No, always shown. Thank you. There we go. So we have the USB key down here. This is what I wanted. And right now, we need to move this. It's on the wrong thing. So I need to have this on here. We mount our CircuitPython directory. And then we come over here to Hopefully I put it all back together again correctly after changing the OSs. Debian just didn't cut it. It wasn't working right, and it was a lot of work to get this OBS all working properly again. So if we go up here and we say, yeah, open the Grand Central Workspace. Let's see how much. Uh, Python extension. I don't need a getting started. I don't need the Python, and I don't need the Pylint. So as you can see, I'm back to. I can't find an import again. Clean install. So we have an issue here. Um, this is the dumb part. If we look in here on the drive, add a fruit. Is it up here? What do we see right here? 74 HC 595 MPY. This Pylint will just frickin' won't pick it up properly, no matter how you fight it. So what you have to do is go here and pip3 install Adafruit. Let's see. CircuitPython 74 HC 959. Let's try that. No, let's go to our friends here. PyPy. That's pi y pi I. Here, we go here. We go here and we go 74 HC 595. Right there. Adafruit. Borrow the line. Go back to the console. Paste. Now, probably another one we're going to need to solve the board issue. We need Blinka. So, Blinka. No? Yes. Did I type it wrong also? You'll probably. Blinka. Adafruit Blinka. Let's just make sure we are grabbing that one there. I think it's the right one. We go like that. We go back here. We say paste. And we do this one. Blinka's already in. Okay, good. So we need to shut down this for a sec. We need to reload it is what's going on. Because it does not pick up when base system stuff changes. See? Found it this time. See? Found the board. See? Found digital I/O. Even though this frickin' thing is right there. Now, board, of course, is part of the modules within the CircuitPython board itself. And that's handled by, of course, the libstub stuff. That's the whole point of the CircuitPython extension in here is to do that. Now, if we attach to this, now sometimes I get this effect here where it's complaining. So you close the workspace off because we don't want to damage the file system, right? Holding a file system open while you replug the board in. Let's plug it in again. We should get a pop-up again. Mount. And then this time we open it again. And we wait a moment here. And we'll try this again. There we go. So I just have some debug going on here. Control D. So what I'm after here is while this thing is blinking, and I need to shrink the desktop so you can actually see the screen. No, cancel. Not lock the desktop. There we go. So here, so when I Control D this to restart everything, you can see it's, the light goes off. So what I've figured out so far, and this is the Arduino stuff is a lot easier to deal with on this one, is I figured out, yes, I can initialize the thing, get the SPI running, but I found out, for example, pin 0 through whatever, when you get them started, they're actually objects. They're not actually variables per se. Um, and then down here, yes, I can assign pin 0 to a pin, blah, blah, blah. And I was playing around with byte strings and learning how to do that, all the usual crap. At the moment, um, I was looking at the Arduino code and comparing it, and then they're just passing 4 bytes to it in hex value, basically. So I was messing around in here, and what I just was debugging basically is I enabled just the first pin, for example. Pin 1, for example. Now this is the other funky thing. Do we start at 0 or do we start at 1? So is it 0 through 7 or is it pin 1 through 8? Like, I mean, and that's the really weird thing. Control S. I can set it for pin 8. It works. Doesn't blow up. I can set it for pin 0. And it still doesn't blow up. So effectively I have 9 numbers to set it to. And I haven't figured that part out yet. And also, for some strange reason, I'm on the second row. Now, I know I can go up here. And if I change this row 1 to 0, Control S. Maybe not. Change this one here to 0. Control S. Nope, we're still on that. Let's make all this 0. Control S. Control D. See, I'm even on the wrong row here. Enable pin range. Let's say pin 0 value. Control S. Okay, so this is getting me my row right there. In theory, this should, now it's blinking all on, off, on, off. I should, in theory, be able to pump. Now it's pumping all bits in. Which is my variable for all bits? Bytes all bits, right here. So 0, Control S. Yeah, so the very first bit in here, if I turn it on, Control S, and this is 0, gets me, the LEDs to go on. The only reason it's blinking is the timer. If I change the final time, so we come along here and set the 0 value. I think I'm turning it off. I sleep. Let's just change that to 3. Yeah, so off. I turn it on for 1 second, off for 3 seconds. So all bits 0 position. So what if I send all bits 1 position? See, in theory, I should be able to just say all bits and send all 4 to it. Off. See, but I'm only going red. And I can move this red row around. I can go all the way up to 8. And when I do that, that's when this funkiness occurs. I do 7. There we go. On 7, I get the top row. Somehow I managed to turn a pin off, and I don't know why I'm doing that either. So it doesn't make sense to me. Not yet, anyway. So see, I don't know if this counter starts out at 1 or 0, and the range is 7. I wonder what happens if we put 7 in there. See, for a moment, this end pin is green. So we cycle around. I'm going to change the timer back to a lot quicker here. 0.5. Green, off, on, red. Tries to do all the pins. Comes around. Pin 0. See, now it's just stuck on. See, this is what I don't get. See, it fluctuates. Yeah, I mean, I go 1 on here, for example. So definitely 7 up here. So yeah, see, I can make the whole thing light out with sending it garbage. What if we send it number 3? So that's the top row. Okay, so let's go put this back on the bottom row. And so C, Control V, Control V, Control V. So I'm going to make this 0, 1, 2, Control S. Well, now the bottom row is blinking really quick. Let's change this to 3, Control S. So let's change all this to 1. Well, now the opposite pin's turned off. 255. Okay. 0. And it just blinks. 128. 0, 0, 0. All pins are on. Sorry, all LEDs are on constantly now. Now, in theory, if I could send it, well, see, I don't know. This is what I'm puzzled over. So if we say here, byte all 3, no, byte all 4. Let's see, byte all 4. See, what I don't know in here is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Control S. See, I'm still stuck on red all the time. I can't make any colors, except if I do it by accident. And it doesn't make... So the demos for this thing from Adafruit all deal with just turning off and on one LED. So a single state. So one shift register. It's like, okay, give me a break. That doesn't help me here. So, but lights on. So that's kind of what I'm working on at the moment. This will be a kind of a choppy video because I screwed up in some places. But hey, who cares? Um, there's still some other stuff coming in. I still haven't got my new soldering station yet. Well, it's not really a soldering station. It's more like a place to place the boards, and hopefully it'll be easy to do soldering. Than the other arms are. So I'm going to stop. Yeah, it's 4:11. So see you next time.